My head spinning around, think I need a new one. My mind is drifting away, and I'm on the backseat of my own life. I don't wanna be like everybody carried by the sea, sinking into deep. Find my peace is everything I seek. My heart is getting weak. If I am sick, you're my medicine. I need some remedy. Touch me one more time and I'll be fixed. Can you hear the sound of my soul calling out your name, begging you to stay? Can you hear the sound of my heart beating for you, beating for a change? My feet stop touching the ground, I'm getting closer to the sun. And my brain is melting away. Need a glass of ice water to refresh my mind. I don't wanna be like everybody carried by the sea, sinking into deep. Find my peace is everything I seek. Can you hear the sound of my soul calling out your name, begging you to stay? Can you hear the sound of my heart beating for you, beating for a change? Take me with you to this heavenly place, or give me a clue so I can find you. Can you hear the sound of my soul calling out your name, begging you to stay? Can you hear the sound of my heart beating for you, beating for a change?
Can't spend another day like this. Sick of saving face lying. Going on by default, so I don't feel it all. Standing at a glass wall looking in. And voices keep screaming. And without even thinking, I'm listening, listening, listening. Saying we've got you deflated. We've got you deflated. I've got yours, my heart is so big, and it's not through till I'm bleeding. Keep wasting away lying. Senses fight to exist. I deny they persist. Running out of places to hide in. saying we've got you deflated. We've got you defeated. I've got yours, my heart is still beating. It's not through till I'm bleeding.
I'm just a little bit tired, maybe a little too much, 'cause now it's hitting me harder. It's just a little too tough. It feels like I'm running from the world, just like I had something to say. It feels like I can take over control. I never had it anyways. So what do you want from me? You got me feeling like I'm never enough. Just say, what do you want from me? You give me nothing when I'm waiting for love. Just say, what do you want? What do you want? What do you need? Yeah. Say, what do you want? What do you need? Yeah. Maybe it's just the thing about getting older. Maybe it's just the thing about growing up. I didn't think that life could get any colder, but now I kinda feel it in my blood. It feels like I'm running from the world, just like I had something to say. It feels like I can take over control. I've never had it anyways. Say, what do you want from me? Oh, you got me feeling like I'm never enough. Say, what do you want from me? Nothing when I'm waiting for love. Say, what do you want? Say, what do you want? Say, what do you want? What do you need? Yeah. Say, what do you want? What do you need?
All right, I think I'm about as ready as I'm going to be. Let's do this.
distance nerding.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, let me be the first to welcome everyone here to the build. Now, I am your solo host at the moment, Young Phil. The reason I'm solo, Jackie is currently making her way home. I don't have anybody else available to back me up here. Thank you, Darren, for throwing that out there, saying that this intro is brought to you by Poddex. Poddex, you can't geek out without it. It's a good tagline, man. I might actually start using that. But yeah, no, guys, welcome to the build. I am getting ready to go and do this Batwing. Now, my guest is running late. My co-hosts are running late. I am the only one here, and I figured, okay, well, let me start everything on time. And I can at least, kind of get the particulars out of the way, meaning like, all of our sponsors and friends and all of the people that power our show. So, I got to do all the shout outs and all those things just to kind of get us ready for everything. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't, or maybe you do, or maybe everybody knows what I mean. Maybe nobody knows what I mean at all. Either way, I lost all my stuff here. So either way, all on this, guys. It's good to see everybody in the chat and everything like that. I think I may have mistakenly erased. Nope, there it is. Okay. Sorry for the terrible intro here, guys, but let's do this, right? Let's get everything up and running and whatnot, right? And do everything the way we need to do it here. So, starting everything off, guys, this stream is brought to you by Poddex. Poddex. They are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out Poddex. Now, guys, go to www.poddex.com and use the code Nerding10 and you get 10% off of your purchases on Poddex. Poddex has all kinds of awesome goodies and goodness and all that kind of stuff, guys. Poddex themselves, they have the decks and the cards and everything like that. But then also they have the app, $40 a month, and you get the app. I'm sorry, $40 a year. And you get the app, and the app gives you every deck that's available and everything like that. Guys, if you're looking to be the party starter or the life of the party, or you're looking to at your next corporate retreat or your next job thing that you're doing, you want to be the person who does all the stuff. The icebreakers and everything like that. You need Poddex, guys. Of course, you guys have seen my Poddex shirt. I love it. It is a great, awesome shirt. It's comfortable as hell, and it looks like a Supreme shirt. It's podcaster kind of thing. Now, you may ask yourself, guys, if Poddex powers the stream itself, then what the hell powers Young Phil? And I've got an answer for you, ladies and gentlemen. Young Phil is powered by Dubby. Sorry, I got to do it with my mouth here. Dubby is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrin, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors, no dyes. Guys, find out more about Dubby at www.dubby.gg. That is www.dubby.gg. And use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Now, guys, there are 5 delicious flavors. You got the Galaxy Grenade, you got the Dub Sludge, you got the Dragonade, you have the Passion Joy Tea, we've got the Beach and Peach, all those 5 delicious flavors. God, it's so good, guys. And there's no crash. I get no jitters. It doesn't make me feel like I'm going to rip my hair out in the middle of playing some Destiny or some Halo or whatever game I'm playing at the time. So, I mean, yes, Darren, there is a mango flavor. It is called, right here, hold on, let me grab it. It's called Beach and Peach, actually. So the Beach and Peach, let me pull the branding down. The Beach and Peach right here, right there, is a mango and white peach cooler, and it is deliciousness. So yes, there is a mango flavor right here. But guys, yes, I'm going to be mixing my flavors here today. I'm doing a kind of fun mix in comparison to the stuff that I normally do. So of course, I've got my my whole mason jar here. I'm gonna do Galaxy Grenade, which is a watermelon guava lime explosion. And guys, my guest just popped in the thing here, so I'm going to introduce him here in a second. I'm going to go ahead and make this, and then I'm going to introduce him onto the show here. So perfect timing, because I got through all of the promotions and everything. I'm going to have some fun here. So I got that right there, and I'm going to do this with the Passion Joy Tea. This is a passion fruit iced tea. So all those flavors. We got passion fruit, watermelon, guava, lime. Sounds very, 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 very Mexican, and I'm all for it. All right. And the mixture I'm doing, I'm going to do half 7-Up Zero, because I'm going with the theme of it's got no sugar, right? Here we go. Pour half of that in here. And I will be drinking this, so you guys know that this is not, I'm not just doing this and saying, oh yeah, no, you guys have to drink it because no, I actually drink this stuff. If you guys watch the show, you know I drink this stuff, and it is delicious. So good, guys. So good. So almost done here. But as I am pouring my drink and doing everything right here, let me bring on this guest. So, guys, well, I first met him last year at an event that we're actually going to be doing again this year together at a event called Heroes Fest, which is a show that is put on by... Oh, sorry, my drink just overflowed. But it's a show that is put on by Project Wish Upon a Star, and you guys know we do a lot of work with Project Wish Upon a Star. We love everything that they do over there. But this individual is actually the reason that I started doing Deadpool cosplay. Like literally, it is all him. Well, him and his wife, but I mean, he was the one that pushed it a lot more than anybody. And now I do Deadpool cosplay. This guy is all over the place. You can catch him in not just Fresno, but in multiple different shows all over the state. He's probably one of the more famous Deadpool cosplayers around the area. He is, like myself, Rob Liefeld approved. Ladies and gentlemen, without further delay, I want to welcome onto the show the Deadpool, the Fresno Deadpool, Matthew Hernandez. Oh my God, that shirt.
I know, right? It's crazy. This shirt just appeared out of nowhere. I'm like, why not? Sure, cool.
Holy
it was
shit.
magical.
Sexy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm jealous. I'm actually, James is probably going to get in the chat at some point and get mad that you're wearing a Distance Nerding shirt and I'm not. I actually decided to wear a Deadpool shirt.
But you have the hat. The hat counts.
That's
Look at that hat. I don't know what's the matter.
Hold on. I made.
You're drinking a drink, right?
Huh?
You're drinking a drink, right? You're not going back to the 70s now.
We'll go with that. That's it is a beverage of some sort. Matt, man, how are you doing, brother? It's been so long, a long time coming for us
Yeah,
to get this show,
it's
man.
been
Finally,
it's been forever and a day, man. Just always been busy, and always like missing like one another. I think the last time we were actually in the same, I don't know, under the same roof ish was Colossus Con or Powerhouse. I think it was
powerhouse,
Power.
powerhouse last year.
Yeah. Then after that it was LA Comic Con. So I think LA Comic Con was I think about the last time. Yeah, about the last time. LA was. I have Lady Deadpool Fresno over here too.
Oh yeah,
So,
I figured she
yeah.
was gonna pop in and out at some point. She's like, yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Yeah, she says hello.
Hi, Andrea. Hi. I can hear her. All right,
So
so
what's
this
going on?
nothing really, man. Like again, I've been modifying and just improving on my cosplay.
Okay.
Just just kind of trying to continue on with my whole thing.
Unipool, right?
Unipool, exactly. Which is
Okay.
every time people ask me about that, it's like, what is Unipool? It's Deadpool cosplaying as a unicorn, and it is glorious.
That stylish 80s jogger type of feel. Rob loved it, man. He was all for it.
Oh
And
yeah.
Rob's usually a big, like 80s fan, like hardcore. So he loved seeing you.
Oh yeah, man. Just the amount of like jokes and things that were in that costume, and he got all of them, man. I think his favorite thing was when he asked me what my name was. I told him I was David Byrne, and he just cracked up. He was like, what's your name?" I was like, "David Byrne," and he's like, "Oh, you're an idiot."
Dude, to that day, it's still like it it freaks me out thinking about it because you really don't know whether or not a celebrity is kind of like serious when he's asking you a question until there's that long pause and you actually look deep into their eyes and realize, oh, you shouldn't have joked around with that. Like when he first had asked, what the name was, right? And he's like, "Well, what's your name?" And I said, "Deadpool Fresno." And he kind of looked at me like, you can watch like rewatch the video. He's kind of looked at me like, "Are you some kind of idiot?" It's like, no. I was like, if I asked you like what your legal like name is, and then I kind of freaked out like, oh. So as I was doing it, he kind of cut me off a bit and said, if I like, listen, if I if I sent you a package, and then from there I had thought automatically that he was gonna actually send me a package, but it turned into one big joke. And then he had asked Andrea about Lady Deadpool Fresno, or like who she was, and she said Lady Deadpool Fresno, and he was kind of like,
Uh oh.
all right, I'm referring to them as
I
this because that's
think.
how they want it, you
Oh,
know?
we lost you for a second, man. I was like, "Oh my god, what is happening?"
Oh, am I good?
Yeah, we're good now.
Yeah. It seemed like even with Andrea, when they were when he was asking what your name is, and she has said Lady Deadpool Fresno. Originally, he had said as Deadpool Fresno, I'm going to refer to you as that because that's what you want to be called, right? And
Right.
then later on, he had asked Kidpool what his name was, and he gave out his real name for it, and he's like, finally, like a real name, and I'm thinking, oh man, I fucked up. But yeah.
I thought it was it was funny the way that I went about it was just like, yeah, well, what's your name? David Byrne. And it's like it's very much a Deadpool thing to say.
Yeah.
So it's just he had a lot of comments about like the way that I kind of like carried myself as the character and everything like that, and that was kind of a big thank you to me from him.
It was a good moment, man. It's definitely something never ever to forget about. I'm
Right.
still looking forward to this coming LA Comic Con, and hopefully he is there as well because I got some stuff I need signed, man. I think a little bit too much. If I'm looking at it, a little bit too much to sign, but well worth it nonetheless.
I am having trouble with my with my Lego cam here.
Uh-oh.
Not wanting to turn on.
We gotta have the Lego cam. We gotta know what's going on. If my son right now wasn't playing video games, I'm sure he'd be very interested in you building up Legos. He's a Lego fanatic, like Lego fanatic. Only mainly because we force him to be, but nevertheless, he still loves doing it. He's the type of kid where if you give him something like to build, he'll read the manual and do all that, and a slow like pace, and then he'll break it all. Like he'll destroy the whole thing, and then rebuild it and try to time himself on how fast he can be building his Legos.
Nice.
Yeah.
I kind of do something similar, because I mean, my whole thing is like, I'm known for just being really fast at my builds and everything.
Yeah.
I would be faster if I could get the camera working.
And if you hear some weird noises in the background, that's only my husky getting upset at the fact that she's still in her crate, ignoring her food. Our house is very noisy.
A lot of craziness going on at your house, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I know there was a couple of things that we said to discuss, and they were mainly video games and movies, because a lot kind of like went on. And I'm just kind of acknowledging the fact. Speaking of video games, my son just dropped his Xbox controller. Good job. You're gonna be adopted. Like when it comes to like video games, a lot of I'll take him for example. A lot of this generation really don't know the significance of video games back in the day. I mean, nowadays it's more Dead by Daylight. It's more Fortnite. It's more Fall Guy and Minecraft. All like the little like stuff, but they're meaningful, right?
Right.
And at some points, like when I watch, like these games, I kind of criticize them myself because I'm like, well, it's not really much of a game, because back then it was more strategy. There was, things you had to really worry about. There wasn't I'll get another turn or I got another chance at it, right? It's like when you're done, when you died, you died. Like, yeah. And I think like the meaning like behind it too is when it came to, well, I'm an 80s 90s like kid, and growing up, I really didn't socialize as much as I think I could have, only because I was socially awkward, a bit of a nerd,
Right.
and I didn't get along so well with like other crowds, especially with a lot of like the guys. Like back then, the majority of the guys, they were into sports, like hardcore, like into sports, like wrestling, sometimes like baseball and all that, and then football. And I just couldn't do it. I didn't have that connection. And then I just found myself kind of more into, I guess, because of that, one of my mothers had introduced me to, I guess, first the computer, which was an Apple computer, like the box Apple computer, right? And she had told me about this game that was on there, which pretty much you were a little mouse, and you had to find your way out of the maze. And that's what the first game ever that I played, right? And then I wanted something I like a little bit more, and they introduced me. I think it was one of the first few games that Blizzard actually came up with, aside from Warcraft. Was oh my god, what was it?
I get the webcam.
What webcam?
I think it was Timing Vikings or Vikings of Time or something like that. It basically had to do with these 3 Vikings, and these Vikings were taken away from their home by an alien ship, and each one was different, right? You had one who was very round, and he had blonde hair, and he carried a shield. The other one was a redhead, skinny, he moved fast, and the other one, I believe, was more of a dirty blonde. I can't exactly remember, and he was the fighter. and you had to take these three knights, or sorry, three Vikings. Yeah, and there was a strategy to where which one would run, which one would attack, and which one would block and dodge and everything, right? And that's actually the first couple of games I actually got into playing. Then it turned into a whole getting me like a Nintendo thing due to my uncle, who was an inspiration to me to actually get into that. And I think from there on it was Super Nintendo to N64. So I know how the games developed over time. But then that as well, I've learned that a lot of the games from now like till then, as I said, like before, are completely different as far as strategy goes. Like I remember playing Nintendo's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and that alone, if I were to play it right now, would still give me even more anxiety than what it used to.
That game is ridiculous, though, man.
Yeah, like not just the water element that's in the game, but there's this one level where there is a gap between you and where you need to go. No matter how many times you want to jump to the other end, you always fail. Like always, like a rage quit moment. Always fail. And then finally you realize, as you're kind of older like me, that all you need to do is just walk across it. Stuff like that. That just game. There's like a lot of stuff like that, Oh, hi guys. How you doing?
Yeah,
hi,
got
James.
other people here now, guys. I'll be right back. I got to restart my computer just because my camera's not working, and I think there's something with my computer. But my other guests are going to be in here, so continue on there. What I do want to give the fans here is a lot of people are asking in the chat, how did you get your start in cosplay? So we definitely want to go ahead and start that story here. I will be right back, guys. So give me a moment here.
Wait, time out. If you leave, does that kick us all out?
No.
Okay.
You might want to turn the audio on your computer on for a second though.
The what?
The audio on your computer.
How do I do that? I didn't realize it was off. Oh, okay.
Oh, I'm just noticing comments right now. That's cool. How did I not notice this before?
When we're in the same room.
Ow.
Oh, can't hear you, Jack. I think you're muted.
Okay, sorry. I was saying he's never had this issue before, so I don't know what's going on. So you were talking about the Nintendo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Nintendo game?
Yeah. It was more of a I was telling the difference between games like right now versus the ones that were back then as far as strategy and difficulty.
Yeah.
Like games right now, you can choose a difficulty with anything. Back then, you only had one difficulty, and good luck like passing it.
Yeah.
Like
and it didn't save it.
Oh yeah.
No, like it didn't save it, at all. Like at all. So I think that's one of the more comfortable games for me, like right now, would have to be like what was it I just played? Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring to Bloodborne to Dark Souls. Those were very, very familiar to me because it would, if you messed up, you died, you start all over. But then that process in your mind would be, this is how I should do it the next time in order for me to pass. So I think that's why even today, Elden Ring is still one of the it's a high demand, high playing video game because it's so familiar with that,
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say is there like a connection between like you growing up like being into like video games and your cosplay?
Yes, it has a lot to do with that. Growing up, as I had mentioned, I really didn't have a lot of friends. We really didn't have much of a connection. They were always into doing like other things, especially hanging out with the guys. I mean, granted, like sometimes we would make believe like we're Power Rangers or Beetleborgs and all that stuff. So that was nice. That was a huge inspiration. I would say, well, growing up, with video games, that also inserts in like movies because I get the same joy from the video games that I watch to movies. And I started an acting career when I was 7 years old with a studio called Divorce Studios, and they were very, very well known here in Fresno. It was ran by Carolyn DeVore, who passed away about 4 or 5 years ago, but she did amazing things. Like she helped run, she helped direct or cast the movie Click with Adam Sandler.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when they did the new Indiana Jones, the hanger scene, that was actually in Fresno. So she casted a lot of those big movies, and she worked with Adam Sandler a lot. And so, being a good movie person, that I was, the movies that I grew up with were shows that were black and white. So I'm talking about.
Okay, you're talking
Uh,
about language, is what you're talking right now.
Yeah. So I'm talking about Little Rascals to I Love Lucy.
That's all
yeah,
Jack House right
The
there.
Munsters.
Yep.
Yes, so I grew up, with that time because my parents wanted me to know the origins before I got into what is in the now. So I have a better understanding with it.
Sure.
So with all those movies too, came with Gremlins, came with The Lawnmower Man, came with Brainwaves, it came with Little Monsters, came with The Princess Bride, Land Before Time. I can go on with
Oh,
movies.
dude, Little Monsters was like one of my favorite movies with what was that Howie Mandel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was, and then what you realize after that was Lady D. You realize soon after when you're actually, like an adult, that a lot of our movies that are still like inspiration today were very dark. And I give an example like the Never Ending Story, right? Now you go on, watching the Never Ending Story because you like the whole fictional character fantasy, aspect of it. You like the fact that they're reading, those, who are, like big readers, and just being able to use your imagination. So here you are, picturing yourself, inside the story, riding, that dragon, meeting, all kinds of, like people, and then you realize there's a big tortoise who's actually pretty cool but somewhat scary, and everything still is enjoyable until before then the horse sinks into a bottomless pit of quicksand and dies.
Yeah.
So,
And
wow,
multiple
joy.
Artax dies. If you don't cry when Artax dies, then you are just not human.
Yeah, but those are the type of stuff we grew up with. Right?
Is that Never Ending Story, Philippe?
Yes.
Philippe and I have a theory. The Never Ending Story is called the Never Ending Story because it's such a relaxing movie that I think I didn't fall asleep because it was boring. It's very like for me. I wouldn't say it's boring. It's a relaxing.
It's a very soothing.
It's a
movie.
very soothing movie. So I have this theory that it's called that because you have to keep rewatching it because it keeps like lulling you to sleep.
Well, which movie out of these two do you think did it better? Would it have been The Never Ending Story or The Princess Bride?
I've only seen The Princess Bride one time.
I don't think I've ever fallen asleep through The Princess Bride.
I've only seen it one time, and actually, at there's an event in Sacramento where what's that guy's name?
L
something Elwes
No.
what's the name?
All of a sudden, I'm forgetting his name.
I can't. It's like ELUES.
No, it's the Dread Pirate Roberts, man. What's his name? Carry.
Yes, him. He's doing an event in Sacramento at the Crest Theater where they're gonna screen the Princess Bride movie, and then he's gonna do a Q&A after.
I don't think Carrie's actually gonna be there though. I think it's gonna be like how the last Q&A that we went to was there, where it was in LA. But they live streamed it.
Oh, okay.
And you can like ask questions on Twitter and they'll ask the questions.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, okay. Well, it wasn't clear on that, but yeah. I read it last night, or whatever. So, but anyway, sorry, I kind of got off on a tangent.
No, you're good. You're good. So it was these type of things that inspired me to be like a cosplayer. When cosplay was introduced to me, the only thing that I knew about cosplay was the big one, which was San Diego Comic-Con. That's the only thing I knew about. So getting involved into that, I had followed, like a local con, because I didn't even know there were local cons in Fresno aside from, San Diego Comic Con. And someone had told me that there was one happening called ZapCon, which was at Selland Arena here in Fresno. And so went to that one, just kind of looked around, and then I saw other people dressing up, and I thought, well, I kind of want to do the same thing. And so I had my first cosplay, which I believe was in 2011, and it was Carnage. So I had the whole suit. I had, the mask. It was very skin tight, and the mask was a silicone, so it really kind of stuck to the face. But it didn't make it really to any other like cons due to the fact it was it was fastly made. So that was kind of the thing that I did like some Marvel pub crawl, I think, with it. And then I thought, well, I kind of like this because I'm connecting to a character that kind of fits my personality. Not in the brutal.
I
was
gonna say not a psychopath that want to murder everyone kind of way, but
yeah. And then I thought, well, what's something else like I can do? And then that's when I started playing video games a lot more. I think the next console I had aside from PlayStations was Xbox, and the first Xbox game that I actually got was Deadpool. And I really didn't know much about Deadpool. I knew that it was Marvel. I knew that it was different. I knew that he looked pretty cool. I mean, here is a ninja with his mouth who liked chimichangas and tacos. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. So played the whole game, and I thought, you know what? I think that's something I want to do. I feel more comfortable being Deadpool because I have this strong connection with this character. It seems it's that connection where you don't have to try to be this character. You just simply have to be you. The only thing that's different is that you have a suit on and you have the whole mask. That's it.
You just
so
have
I thought, all right,
and just kind of quippy.
Yeah. So I thought, why not, right? So got that started, and then I went to Fresno State because Fresno State had another like little con, and we were doing a cosplay contest, and my friends at the time kind of pushed me to do the cosplay contest. Again, not having really much cosplay experience, but then I thought, well, if I can do the whole acting workshops and being like little indie films like here and there, then I'm pretty sure I can pull this off. So we get to the cosplay contest, and there's a huge line, and in front of me is Con Snow. So it's Con period Snow, who actually is a doubler of Stark from Game of Thrones, right? And he has like the whole getup. I mean, the whole getup. And his face just like it looks great. And he had put so much effort into getting like this cosplay. Like he bought that outfit from HBO itself.
Yeah.
So he wanted to go like all out. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, oh, well, that's, your costume's like pretty cool. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. He's complimenting me as well. I'm more over here, kind of nervous because I'm in an environment that's just new to me. And he looks at me and he's like, you're going to do well, man. You're going to do well. Just go out and try like your best, and, best of luck to you. I'm like, oh, cool. Well, thanks. So he does, when he performs, he does a quote as Stark, and it's beautiful. Like he gets an applause, and I'm thinking, great, I have to follow that.
Follow this guy.
Yeah. Like, well, all right. So I finally, so it's my turn, and I go on stage, and I'm thinking, I still have no idea what I'm going to do. Like, I have no idea. What am I going to do? And the first thing that hit my mind was in the video game, when Deadpool is riding the elevator, he sings Patsy Cline's Crazy.
Yep.
And so that's what I do. As I'm walking into the center stage, I out loud, as horrible as I can, sing Patsy Cline's Crazy. And afterwards, the crowd goes like wild, right? And I'm like, all right, A bit more comfortable, but Stark over here did a better job at a performance than I did. It's like I have no chance in this. So we're waiting, and I'm standing next to Stark, and he compliments me, and I'm like, thanks. And it's like, oh yeah, no problem, man. It's like you did great. I'm like, well, thanks. And so they let us know. They come up to first place. So third place they mentioned, none of us won. Second place mentioned, none of us won. First place happens, and they say that Deadpool is basically the winner. And I'm like, what? And so I look at Stark, and he looks at me, and he's like, see, man, great job. I'm like, please don't kill me. But that actually started like the beautiful bro relationship with Stark, because I've known him since then, and he's been an awesome help, man. So that's kind of like how it started, right? And then I thought, well, what now? Still having no knowledge whatsoever. And I was told that you could actually be a featured cosplayer. I'm like, okay, what? Having no knowledge, what a featured cosplayer was. And they said, well, you have to reach out like you would an agent, for acting. I'm like, okay, so I have, that bit of experience. And so I reached out to a con in Merced called California. I think it was California Republic. I think.
Yeah.
At the time, it was called Colossus Con. So Colossus Con, I reached out to them, and David, still the owner of the stage for it, had took me in, and that was my first actual gig. And I had no knowledge of actually what to do or what to put on like a table, and I just kind of went all out on it. Like I had a bunch of like photos and all that, so did that. Walked away from table here and there and talked to other vendors. I'm more socialized because I wanted to be a bit different. And I've learned that being different and not being stuck behind a table through that whole event actually matters a lot. Why? Because it makes you different than everybody else.
Right.
And that's one of the main things that I took part of my acting career, is that an agent only wants those who stand out from the rest of them. So if you're going to do like the same thing, over and over, and like again, as far as behind a table or having photos like that and not just going out and the beyond, then you're just not going to like make the cut. You have to want to continue to pursue yourself, like further than standing still, right?
Right.
So from there, Ohana got a hold of me and wanted me to feature. And I was with them for over maybe 7, 8, 10 years. And then ever since then, I've been around and all that. And then I thought, and then how do I say that? Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought right now. I feel like I'm talking and talking and talking. I'm sorry. Did I answer your question?
We're like super interested right now. I mean, like the story is interesting, man. It's not like, this is like a boring story or anything like that.
Oh, thank you.
But I mean, like, it's we have a lot of ties with Colossus Girl, right? Like we do a lot of shows for Colossus Girl. We at this point we host all their shows, and so I'm very familiar and intimate with Dave. And yeah, man, I mean, like, again, we connected at a different con completely, but like we reconnected at a Colossus Girl show. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, you like, again, I've mentioned you're the reason that I do a Deadpool cosplay.
Really quick, I want to pause you really quick. There's a freeze somewhere in, I think, YouTube, but there's nothing we can do about that, right?
No.
Okay, so sorry, Darren. There seems to be, if there's a freeze, then I think it's in YouTube, and there's nothing we can do about that. Hopefully, it works its way out.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. There was multiple comments, so I just wanted to get that out there that right. we were working on the problem, but not working on it.
But yeah, like, my Deadpool cosplay, a lot of that came from you, and when I first met you. I remember we were taking a picture with you, and somebody asked me what are you cosplaying as something? Are you supposed to cosplay as something? And I was like, Wade Wilson without the cancer. And I remember you looked over at me and was like, dude, do you cosplay as Deadpool? And I'm like, no. He goes, you should. Like you were like, you should. And that's when I first started like seriously thinking about like cosplaying as Deadpool.
Yeah, it's a like when it comes to cosplaying, as Deadpool especially, keep in mind like with you, I really didn't know I was a Deadpool until I kind of like tried it out, right? It's just that natural thing that if you know, you know. Right. And when I started out with it, after Fresno State's con, I wanted to continue on, as Deadpool, but I wanted to make sure I had everyone else's approval. Which, granted, in the end, the only approval you'll ever need is yours. Right. And I always live by this experience, and I think this one experience is the reason why I am more the way I am right now. I went to, ironically, because this weekend is Stack Anime, I went to Stack Anime, and it was me and 2 other friends, and I'm dressed as Deadpool. And at that moment, at that time, I was the only Deadpool suit in California. And so we're walking to point A to point B because one of my other used to be friends needed an autograph. So I'm walking with them, and I get stopped by this kid who was a little taller. He was a little fluffier, and he was excited to see me, right? And he's like, "Oh, hey, Deadpool, over here!" And he's sitting down with his sister, and I know this because he introduced me to his sister. I'm like, "Oh, hey, man. Well, what's going on? Nothing much, man. I'm just here, having a good time. But you definitely made my day, right?" I'm like, "Oh, hey, cool." So keep in mind, before then, I was asking other Deadpools, "How do I act as a Deadpool? Like, I have no idea if I'm doing this right." And as well, Deadpool, has like the murking like mouth. He doesn't have a censor. He really doesn't care about anyone else's, like feelings and all that. He's just playing out rude. If you're dumb, he's gonna call you dumb. I'm like, oh, okay. So to now, the kid was very excited to see me, and I had asked him, what he was doing and all that, and he said, "Oh, and he's there at the con, and he bought some cool stuff." I'm like, "Oh yeah, cool, man." And he says, "Oh, hey, are you gonna go eat one of your favorite foods, chimichangas?" Mm-hmm. And again, that's when I started thinking as what other people had told me, and I said, "What are you talking about?" It's like chimichangas. I like the word chimichangas. It's like, exactly. I like tacos. And he's like, "Oh, okay." Like that pure joy was just not there. And then I'm realizing that, and I'm like, I'm going like back and forth to me and what other people are telling me. I said, it's like, I tell you what, did you buy anything? You're at a con, you must have bought something, right? And he says, "Yeah, I got a poster." It's like, okay, cool. What's the poster of? Deadpool. Right. Okay. It's like, I tell you what, man, why don't we take a picture, right? I mean, we can like take a picture with the poster itself, right? That'd be kind of cool. And it's like, I don't have a camera. All right, man. How about this? I can always sign it for you. I mean, I hope you don't mind, like the Deadpool, like signing your poster because you're a big fan, right? Let me sign your poster. I don't have anything to sign it with. All right. So, and then his sister had said,
I just would have been like, "Well, shit, come on, man."
Yeah, right. And then in the end, because I'm already digging myself a hole, that his sister finally speaks up and says, "I have a camera. Let me take a picture." I'm like, "All right, awesome." So he gets up, he unfolds the poster of Deadpool, and we take a photo. And and looking back on that photo, there was no expression on his face whatsoever. Like I literally killed his moment. I'm like, "All right, well, I'll see you around then, okay?" It's like, "Yeah, okay." And he goes back and he sits down, and I'm walking again to point B with the used to be friends that I had. And I'm feeling extremely bad, like extremely. Like I care a lot about other people's, like feelings, believe it or not. And it just something on me, something just, it wasn't right. And so that used to be friend. And I have to think that used to be friend, because if it wasn't for what they said next, I don't think I would have, changed for the better. He had told me right out loud as we're walking, hey man, wouldn't that just be crazy if we went back to the room, we turned on the TV, and we watched the news, and you found out that kid killed himself?
Oh,
Oh
shit.
wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, right there, I broke. I broke. And I said, you know what? I got to go back. It's like, even if it means buying him a bunch of like stuff, even if it means buying him dinner, it's like, I need to do something, because I don't feel great, about this at all. And I run over there, not walk, not speed walk. I run all the way over there, and he's not there.
Mm.
So I think it took that for me to realize that a lot of people have their own take on the character. They have their own views and their do's and their don'ts. But if you personally do not feel comfortable on what is being mentioned or what's being told and how you should do something, then don't do it. It's like, you need to feel comfortable on cosplaying, on how you want to cosplay, because sometimes the wrong thing you say and the wrong thing you do can lead to regret. And keep in mind, this was that was in 2011, and I still feel that way.
So how has your cosplay evolved and changed since that lesson? What do you do differently now?
I act more like me. Well, again, I don't really act. I become myself, but I'm more humble. I'm more sincere. I care about other people's feelings. I want to always be able to push people to where they want to be and help them out. I want to be able to help people get their shine, so to speak, if they wanted to be a future cosplayer. I wanted to help people get the courage to cosplay, to help people better understand that it's a fun activity that can help you out in so many ways. But you should, how do we say that everybody is somebody. I want to always push since then, that everybody is somebody. You need to be considerate of every other cosplay, whether their shape, their size, the color, the gender. And that's what I do. That's not only what I do. That's what Lady Deadpool does as well.
Right, like promoting inclusivity in general. Just making you feel included in what you do.
Yeah, because hell, like I said, as a kid, I wasn't really included in anything, and I know how that feels. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't want anyone else, to feel that same way. And even as an adult, the adults still feel that way. We still have feelings, and I try to change one life and after another. Like when I said, when I mentioned to you that to do the Deadpool, man, it was beautiful, and it still is beautiful. You do a great job at it. A great job.
And I mean, there's a lot of things that I do in my character, because I try to I do acting 101 when it comes to it. I am Wade Wilson when I'm that character. I'm not Philippe. I'm not doing anything that I'm not myself. Aside from hyper myself, kind of, right?
Yeah.
But it's I go with the motor mouth. I go with the sarcasm. I go with all the inclusiveness and everything like that. I'm very on top of everything. I stop and take a picture with anybody who wants to take a picture with me. To the point with this new mask, because I have the happy eyes now. I put on the happy eyes and do pictures and stuff like that, and people light up. That's what makes me want to continue doing it. Is the way people react to it,
Yeah. So yeah, I agree. It really depends on how you want to be and what makes you feel comfortable. But you also have to realize that other people have feelings, so you have to really kind of also be aware of how you act and what you say. I mean, I'm sure if it came to it, if it came into a situation where if you personally went up to a cosplay and just acted the way you do, and you had noticed that cosplayer was just down in the dumps, right? Like they just weren't feeling it. That they were sad, depressed, something was bothering them.
Right.
You would feel comfortable on still being you, but also being like Deadpool, but breaking that barrier to where you're going to make sure that person still is okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in the way that I do things like that, it's usually like, especially if I see somebody who's like down and depressed and stuff like that. It's hey, come and have fun with me, or come and do this, or and like just try to make them feel included.
Yeah.
And most times it works out for the better. Most times.
So there's a question question in the chat from Darren. It says, why I'm guessing that's, why do you cosplay as Deadpool? I think you covered that, but if you can I think you might have covered that in the beginning. But what do you find interesting about cosplay, and how do you relate to the character? I think you were saying earlier, sorry, I have a really bad short-term memory.
No, you're good. You're good.
I think you said earlier it started with the video game, and then you just decided to go and do it, and it ended up working.
That's
working.
correct.
You won
So
the award and stuff.
Yeah. So it all started with video games. It all started with movies. It all started with my love for acting and just wanting to get more involved. Got my first place, in the whole cosplay community, and that's where it pretty much started.
Have you done any other cosplays, or tried any other cosplays, and maybe it didn't work out, or didn't work out?
Yeah, there were a lot of test runs. I guess Lady D pushes me to do other like cosplays, and I've done that road before, but it really, well, like for example, the whole Carnage thing, it was great. I loved it, but Carnage has a lot of, let's put it this way. If you've never cosplayed, or if you've never heard of other people who portrayed the role of Joker, that's pretty much how Carnage was. It took a total different mindset, and you as an actor or a cosplayer, and those who are like deep into their character, you want to, like, it's strange, but you put like your whole soul into like that character. That's the same thing about actors too, right? Like you hear all the time that Jack Nicholson, when he was Joker, he says that it was probably the biggest mistake he could ever make, because the whole mindset and the energy that you had to carry with him was just bad. He had even told Heath Ledger, who got the role of a Joker, that you don't know what you're doing, because that also falls with the characters that we portray in the cosplay community, right? So Carnage he was a bit of a handful. I mean, he was fun, but just going into a very dark mind, it wasn't very healthy for me.
You want to talk about a character who's a murderous psychopath, like between the Joker and Carnage, they're some pretty mentally grueling characters to play.
What are some other things that you find interesting about Deadpool? We haven't talked about.
So I love the fact that a lot of fans or people believe that Deadpool has no real feelings. Like, he simply does not care. Like, if you were to tell him you hurt my feelings, he'd be like, "Oh, okay, well, boo-hoo for you." But in reality,
opposite.
In a comic, there was I believe it was a kid. It's been a while since I read it, but there was someone who acknowledged the fact that Deadpool had hurt their feelings, and Deadpool acknowledged it, took a breath, and said, "Look, I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings." Like, he apologized. He showed that he cared. He showed that he had emotion. He shared that he wasn't just thinking about himself. It wasn't just about him. It was just that he was going through a rough moment, especially being like who he was, not really having much of a normal life, having to take care of everything else in the world, that it just sometimes you just took like over him. So that's why I loved more about this character, because he was human. He actually had that emotion that yeah.
Yeah, and I totally agree on that. I mean, that's the whole thing with Wade is he'll surprise you with a lot of the things that he says and does. And that's one of the big things, is that he's probably one of the characters that has the most run of emotion in the comics.
For sure. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Jaren was asking about Lady Deadpool and who she or who they, she, I'm not sure what their pronouns are, who they are, she is to you. It's your
Well, Lady Deadpool Fresno is my wife. Okay, so with Lady Deadpool Fresno, Lady Deadpool Fresno basically started out as in a different universe, wanting to actually was hired to actually kill Deadpool, if I'm not mistaken.
okay.
And it came to where when she was actually face to face, she's like, man, she pretty much said, you are too much of an idiot to kill. and so
And Wade's
and
reaction,
so
well, thank you.
yeah, pretty much. I'm like, oh, okay. So that was pretty much how it kind of started off. That they just they became like a team, and then they adopted Kidpool and Dogpool and the whole Headpool and all that. So she's pretty much the backbone. Like she's smarter, she's faster, she's stronger than what Deadpool can actually be. A lot of times she's more of the ones that's trying to clean up after Deadpool, even though she's a Deadpool like herself. But the great thing about her too is that she's still Deadpool, so she's very opinionated. She's very she could be very messy at points. Like, let's say going into she has like a task, ends up killing her target. She's happy just to have that right next to her as she's eating pizza and watching television. She's, I think, out of Deadpool and Lady Deadpool, I would think Lady Deadpool it has more freedom than actual like Deadpool himself.
So did you guys meet because of Deadpool, or did you guys once you guys were together found that you guys story on that?
So yeah, I need to hear, because I know that you inspired Andrea to do this. So because you were you started cosplaying first, and then she got into it. I remember her telling me about how she got into it because of you.
Yeah. So there's a story.
No, I'm just kidding.
So it all started. It all started in Patterson. We did a con with Ohana. I did a con with Ohana in Patterson, and a lot of the times back then too, I didn't take off my mask until after I was done with cosplay. It's just how I rolled. Because if I took off the mask, if you ever kind of see me out and about and you notice that it can be extremely hot and I'm wearing the suit and I have the mask on, it's because as soon as I take off that mask, the whole character is just done.
Right.
I have to have like a full thing in order for me to actually be in that mindset, right?
Mhm.
And so we're doing Patterson, and I like to acknowledge my fan base. And so they announced that I was going to be in Patterson. This is the first appearance. And there was a comment that was left by Lady D saying, "Oh my God, Deadpool, that's awesome." And she posted a picture of Deadpool with his thumb up saying, I approve this shit, so to speak. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's see, what this person looks like. Like, okay, so if they arrive at the con, I'll go ahead and acknowledge them. and I'll thank them for the follow and the appreciation, right? So day comes, she arrives with the kids, and she notices Deadpool, and I notice her. I'm like, hey, come over here. So I give her a sticker, which she still has to this day, an autograph, and what else? Was it just that? Yeah.
So
And I
lady,
keep it.
so Lady Deadpool is your groupie.
Yeah. Yes.
I want to hear.
So-
I want to hear her acknowledge that. That's all I want to hear.
and so what happened was, after that, she wanted to take a picture. So we took like a picture, our first picture together, and then after that, after my mask was on, so I took off my mask because I had to go eat somewhere, and all you can see is basically behind me, right? And if you haven't noticed, I have very, very long hair, and so all they can see is behind me, and that's not only the kids, but that's her. And she looks at her daughter and it's like, I didn't know Deadpool was a woman. and the kids are like, yeah, we didn't know that either. I turn around and they're like, oh, never mind. And so from there, I noticed that she was still there. And after looking at her, looking at me, I noticed I felt very in love. And so she calls me a creeper, but
I'm just looking at a girl. The fuck am I supposed to say?
It's okay. I thought Philippe was a tool the first time I saw his pictures on the dating website. I was like, this guy looks like a tool. I'm gonna message him.
The best part was, looks like a tool. I'm gonna message him. Now we're married.
So from there we went on a date, and then from there we just connected. And then she wanted to be. Then I asked her to take part in my adventure and be into the whole cosplay thing. Not as Lady D yet. So her and the kids. She made. I still have it to today. She made a mug, for me that was basically Deadpool themed, and she made shirts for her and the kids that said Deadpool Fresno on it. So they were basically she went all out and just did that because she wanted to. And she would assist me at the cons that I would go to, and they would work the table and answer questions and all that. And then I noticed that even though she was very helpful, I noticed that she wanted to be more. I wanted more for her. And I thought, I think you earned the right to actually be like Lady Deadpool Fresno. And she said, well, I don't have any idea about this whole cosplay thing. It's like, I've never cosplayed in my life. I don't know who Lady Deadpool is. The only person that I know is Deadpool Fresno. Like, what do I need to do? What should I do? What can I do?
So Lady Deadpool is the actual Marvel character. Yes. Right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. There was a question in the chat, and then I also was like, wait, is this was this you imagining what Lady Deadpool would, but you were explaining how she is in the comics, it sounded like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So with that, I had thrown the idea of her cosplaying as Lady Deadpool, which means we would need the suit, we would need all the accessories, and she worried more about the mask. Out of everything else, she worried more about the mask because all the other masks that were out there weren't very Lady Deadpool-like. They weren't very feminine, right? None of them were. None of them. And then I thought, let me go ahead and help you out with that. So there's a story behind the Lady Deadpool mask, believe it or not. So when the suit, when my Deadpool suit, was created, the idea of actually doing a Lady Deadpool was, brought up, and that Lady Deadpool mask has been passed on from Lady Deadpool to Lady Deadpool out of people that were friends, and so that legacy, kind of, hung on. The people that actually took, that mask and actually tried to be, a Lady Deadpool, didn't succeed. I would say they didn't have the energy, they didn't have the spirit, they didn't feel comfortable being like a Lady Deadpool, like Fresno. They just didn't have it. So it's kind of like saying Tony Stark's Iron Man helmet was just there, never really passed on to the right person, or like Thor's hammer, right? You have to be worthy, right? And so for a long while, that Lady Deadpool mask was just hanging out, waiting for the right person. I said, okay, I feel as if you can be like this character, and not just by your personality, but because of how your spirit is, because you care so much about people. She basically was everything that I was looking for, like within myself, that I wanted, that for her. But I needed the right type of person, and she was that right type of person. So I said, okay, here's the map. Put it on. We'll figure everything out and just go with it. And again, she was unsure because she didn't know how to be Lady Deadpool. And as the advice that I have given to everyone over time is just be who you feel comfortable being. Don't try to execute being someone different when you're not that different person.
Right.
And
Yeah.
so she's like,
What's my reaction?
what was your reaction?
Motherfucker, I got this.
Yeah, her first reaction as she put on the mask was, "Mother, can I cuss on here?"
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. She said, and I quote, "Motherfucker, I got this."
And that 100% sounds like the Andrea that I know.
So she put it on. Was great with kids, great with other people. She rocked it. Like, I think that mask, and I know that mask was meant for her, and
Yeah.
it was. It was meant for her. So that's how Lady Deadpool became about, and she's been doing her own thing. She has her own fan base. She was Rob Liefeld, like approved, on her own.
When did
Mentioned the mask, and that mask
Liefeld
today.
loved that mask. Liefeld, that's he kept talking about how perfect that mask was.
So that mask today is the only one you will ever see, not just in the States, not just in like the UK, not anywhere. That mask is the only feminine mask like that here, and she's the one that has that. So Liefeld, love the fact that it was very, very accurate like that, and I feel personality plus the mask, why not, right? So that's how she started, and she's still blooming, like to this day. That's how we met as a whole Deadpool family. I did have at a point a kid pool, but he kind of grew out of the whole thing. So it's just been, Lady D and myself. But you had mentioned before other cosplays. So it came with so it was Carnage, it was Deadpool, and then I did Carnage Deadpool. Yeah, I did him for a while. I think I only did it for a couple of days, but the mask was just really top heavy. But then I thought of kind of venturing out of Deadpool for a while, just because sometimes you get kind of burnt out of it. And so I did a mash of Beauty and the Beast. So he was kind of like Beast, but in human form. I did a gender bend Catwoman. I've done Michael Jackson. Let's see. There's other ones that I have done that I just can't picture, but yeah.
Are there any characters that you want to do that you haven't done yet?
Yes. So I want to do Lobo from DC.
Lobo would be dope, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to do Lobo, but I'm missing the abs.
The abs,
you can buy those on Amazon, no
you can
problem.
buy those on Amazon.
Yeah, but I have to like spray them too and all that. So it's one of the things I really, really, really want to do. I want to do Lobo because I figure I have the hair, so why not?
I want to see the gigantic arms. I don't want to see a skinny Lobo like it was in the Krypton TV show.
Oh, okay.
We need
to get bigger arms.
massive. So if you if you do it, I want to see you be a gigantic, buff monster.
Okay, I have a dumb question.
Yeah.
Don't nobody stone me for this.
We won't.
Is Lobo DC or Marvel?
DC.
You see.
So have you ever done a DC character? Or do you tend to like stick with
The only DC character I've ever done was a gender bend Catwoman.
Yep, that's right. Sorry, I knew that. As soon as you started saying that, I was like, he said gender bend Catwoman, and I knew that.
Yeah.
I'm still
That's
learning.
definitely the only one I've done.
Okay.
Other cosplays I want to do. I've wanted to do Johnny Silverhand for Cyberpunk, and I actually was given a good portion of the cosplay by Noel.
Oh yes,
because he. So believe it or not, the reason why he started doing that was because he knew I was a fan, and he wanted to wear it, in honor of me.
His Johnny Silverhand is actually really good.
Right? He does a lot. He does a great job at it. A great job. And he passed it down to me, but I don't know. It feels great, but at the same time too, it's like I don't know. So I tried that.
I've said he's unfair because he has a sponsor. So somebody pays him to cosplay.
So the Lobo character, is that like some sort of like wolf character?
Kind of. He's kind of like a lone wolf, but he's a bounty hunter.
He's like a vampire type of character, that type of feel. He has like red eyes and he has fangs.
He kind of does look like a vampire, but he's not really a vampire.
I'm just going because isn't Lobo mean wolf in Spanish?
Yes, correct.
Yes,
that was why I was wondering.
And I think they go with that.
He's a biker. He's like a lone wolf, quote unquote biker.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's like
but he's also like a bounty hunter. So he's like Deadpool, but a little bit more hardcore, I would say.
In the comics, he cusses more than Deadpool does, for sure.
Yeah. So aside from that,
I was gonna say to a point where they gave him his own language in DC just so he could cuss more. So like he has stand-in words, like he says frag instead of fuck. So he'd be like, "Oh, this fragging frag."
They even have him in Injustice, the video game, where his finishing move is he drags his chain on you, puts you in the back of his bike, and then he flips you off as he's driving off.
Yes.
So he's a fun character. Aside from that, I have other versions of Deadpool that I want to do. Like I have now a tactical version of Deadpool, and I kind of want to up that up. Like I wanted to do a zombie, what do you call it? A zombie Umbrella Corp tack Deadpool. I know that's a lot.
Cool.
We're talking about like him actually having head pulls, like face, and a Gatling gun. So that's one of the things I want to do. But one of my major things right now, aside from Deadpool, is I'm actually in talks on getting a dwarf cosplay together.
Oh, sweet.
I wanted to cosplay a dwarf for so long because they're fun, fluffy, and and full of joy.
Did you say dwarf?
Yeah. I was trying to ask. I was trying to figure out how to frame that question. Is that like okay? That's not like
Lord of the Rings dwarf.
I was thinking like
Lord of the Rings. Yes, like a Lord of the Rings dwarf.
Okay.
Okay, I was thinking like the Seven Dwarfs.
No, he's.
I was like, which one are you gonna be?
Dopey, of course.
Dopey.
No, I was trying to think like I think it was like Doc or Happy that had the long hair.
Right.
On Misty Mountain.
Well, so I wanted to base my dwarf off of that because I talked to
Dwarfs are badass.
Ben, they call himself Ben, but he's known as Ben's Acting Up. He cosplays as Gimli from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I loved everything new that he did. And he was like, "Yeah, we need to put a dwarf, like a group like together." And I wanted to be a tinker dwarf. So I'm in talks with that. I am in the works right now with Rusty and Carnage, who who, if you haven't seen, he has a full metal suit, like something that looks more like Fallout. Who actually created that suit by nothing but metal parts? Like he's literally bolted into that suit, like literally bolted.
Wow.
And I talked to him about that, and he is in the works of trying to create a Tinker Dwarf suit for that as well. So I'm excited about that. Other characters, Lady D and I were in the talks of doing Death and Sandman.
Mm.
Ooh, nice.
But we were talking about doing that, and she talked me into actually putting my hair back in a wig for the Sandman for that. So I wanted to do that. Yeah, other than that, I hear other suggestions, but slow and steady.
I have a Bane cosplay that I've wanted to do forever, but like it's super elaborate, and I need somebody to help me with like the gear. I have this idea that I want to do a venom tube that goes from a gauntlet on my arm. And like basically I would have to have somebody who knows better timing as far as like C++. But I want to program something where you hit the button and an LED light strip goes behind a gel tube, and it looks like in green, so it looks like it's coming up my arm. And then when it hits the back of the mask that I'd be wearing, it would make a sound and sound like steam coming out. So then it sounds like the venom's actually like surging through your body, and I can just kind of like go like that. And the idea would be it's almost a cross between Tom Hardy's Bane, but like actually Cuban, because a lot of people don't realize that Bane is Cuban. So it's like, yeah, so like, you know,
he was a Lucha Lube, right?
No, he wasn't Lucha. That's the misconception that people have with Bane, is that they think that he's Lucha because of his mask. The story from Dark Knight was very similar. The difference being that the prison that he grew up in was on the island of Santa Prisca, which is a stand-in for Cuba.
Oh, okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, and his father is King Viper. So like basically he grew up in this prison, and he wears the mask just because he's a mercenary. So he tries to like hide his identity. But then it also helps him with his venom. So the whole thing is when he takes venom, he has this this delivery system. So that way, again, he hits this thing on his gauntlet and it delivers the venom into his veins. So he gets that surge, and pretty much just becomes bloodthirsty.
Oh, okay. I think you would do great on that.
Yeah. So I've wanted to do that. I just need to find somebody to help me build a costume, because it's gonna take a lot of time to build this thing.
It's a lot of foam.
I've got a couple in the works.
There you go.
One of them I'm gonna have to get contacts for. So
What's the one you got to get contacts for? I'm interested now.
Is it top
Edward Nigma.
Yes.
Who?
The Riddler.
The Riddler.
Got it.
No!
That's a good one.
I need your help.
Oy.
I dropped a piece all the way over there.
Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah, and then the other is I'm gonna do Logan.
Oh, nice. Thank you. You are the bestest.
I had the hair at one point. Hair in the sideburns.
Oh man, that'd be awesome. Because he's got a Logan cosplay and out too. She's back. She's back and better than ever.
Okay. Where are we at in life? We're talking about cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we at in life? Still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not into like the kind of cosplay that you guys do. I'm into like historical cosplay.
Like dwarves?
Like what?
Like dwarves?
No, That's more that's further back than the
No,
cosplay
mine
she's
is
enjoys.
I like I don't how do you would you explain the kind of cosplay that I
It's more like 1920s and
yeah, Philippe has he doesn't know anything about the 1920s, 30s or 40s.
Oh, like very vintage or Victorian.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I
that's what
guess.
she's
Yeah.
more vintage than anything.
Like them.
Yeah. I'm a little shy on like doing it. I have a couple dresses, but there's like I think I admire it more than anything. It's really hard for me to like to do it. I mean, like you said, like if it's something, you were saying earlier, if it's something that you want, if you have passion for doing, then you should just do it. So I have a couple dresses, and I think the hardest part is I had just started getting into it when I lived down in the Bay Area. And then I moved up to Sacramento, and they don't really have like events and stuff up here like they do in the Bay Area. So I'll go down. We're gonna go down on September 11th. They're having a Hawaiian shirt day.
And like they do have events, we just don't know where to find them.
No, so it's not that. It's that COVID kind of put the damper on like their big, like they would have like like dances where they'll have like a band and stuff like that. And I was telling Philippe, like, our wedding was great, and it was all, it was great. A lot of people had a good time and all that kind of stuff. But I told him, I said, some of my favorite times to this day is when it's just you and me, like hanging out on one of the ships, taking pictures and, looking at like the, like the museum on the ship and stuff like that. And just like having like the music play in the background, like that's still like some of like my favorite times I spent with him. So like there are still things. I went to one on Treasure Island a couple months ago. So there are things. There's just not a lot in Sacramento, other than they have like vintage like junk halls or whatever. And I'm not so much into like antiquing. If I see something and I like it, then I'll buy it. But I'm just not I'm not a collector of things necessarily. I more so am into like going to like events and like seeing what other people do and just kind of having like that time. But I like even with like this kind of cosplay. I was talking to his cousin at a family thing, and she's going to Disneyland for her 21st birthday. And
she's already down there.
Yeah. And I know we follow each other on Instagram.
Well, because she texted me this morning.
I saw her stories. But anyway, I was talking to them, and I was saying how the Disneyland, they have like a Halloween party thing where you can actually like dress up. Adults can dress up. And I like going to that because some of the costumes that people have are just so cool.
They're gorgeous.
One of my favorite costumes that I saw was we were standing in line for the Haunted Mansion. Are you familiar with Disneyland at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're in the Haunted Mansion and the extending room or whatever, and there's the girl with the parasol over the crocodile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody we were in line with was cosplaying as her.
Wow.
And I just thought it was such a cool costume, because like, yeah, you could be like a princess, or you can be, Princess Leia, and you could be all these like, bigger characters, but like it was just so cool that she picked that one character, and like it's just so unseeming, and like she had like the perfect costume.
You stand it out. That's kind of like what we mentioned like before, that when it comes to cosplay, the question is, if you're going to do the same thing, what makes you so different than the rest?
Yeah.
Right.
And from what you're telling me, she made it different, like from the rest, and that's pretty cool.
I mean, every time I talk about it, that's the only person I talk about. The only other one that I can really remember, which I thought it was funny. It had nothing Disney. It was not even Disney related, but there was a mom there with like a bunch of kids, like maybe her kids, I don't know. but they were
There were kids that she stole. That was stolen children.
they were dressed up as NCIA and NCIS agents. And I don't know why I thought that was cool, but I did. That was the only other people I remember. But like, it was so weird. It was not weird. It was so cool to like be in line with her and be like, holy crap. Like it was like when we were going into the haunted mansion and we were with the person from the freaking thing. And I don't know. It was such a cool like thing to pick.
It's a nice experience.
Yeah.
Okay, Phil, I did see an update though that you need for Unipool.
What is it?
You got to get the X-Force costume.
Oh, so I've seen the X-Force costume and I've thought about that. My next update is I guess I'm gonna expose this. I'm getting one of those like you know how like little kids back in the day used to have like the little sticks with horse heads on them and they would ride the horse.
Yeah.
There's a unicorn one that I found and it makes and everything and I'm gonna ride around.
You mean we're not gonna do the coconuts?
That's the reason I got the coconuts. Was so
Oh.
that I can that way somebody can follow me with the coconuts.
Yeah, we got the Coke. So at Costco, they have these sorbets that are in like natural like fruit bowls. So like some of them are in lemons and orange like rinds or whatever.
Right.
And then there's in the set that you get, there's lemon and orange rinds, but then and there's also usually 3 coconut ones.
Mhm.
So that's where we got coconut shells from that.
Nice.
Right now, my garlic is sitting in it.
But yeah, so the idea is I'm gonna basically run around a con. Hopefully I can get James to do it for me, but I mean if James doesn't want to do it, I'll
Follow
find
him
somebody.
with the coconuts.
Yeah,
like
somebody
Mel
follow me
Brooks.
with the coconuts. And
Find me out, I'll do it.
right? Hi ho silver away, and then somebody with the coconuts while I'm like riding the horse.
Are you gonna be wearing that at a Heroes Fest?
Yes, I'm bringing it with me for sure.
Woo!
Nice.
Heroes Fest is September 17th,
Yeah.
and that is in Fresno.
Old
Yeah, I
town.
was just talking with Darren today or yesterday, and he's super excited.
It's gonna be a good one.
Fresno. Fresno.
Time is up. It is
8:27.
30 minutes.
7:27 for you guys.
Did you want to kind of do a bit of a bracket, Jack?
yeah. Before we get started on that, did we want to do like pluggables or
Do we want to do pluggables right now?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
No, we'll wait for the end of the show to do pluggables.
Okay. So what was I gonna say? So let's see, where are we at? So normally around 7:00 we usually, but we were having, a good discussion. Usually around 7:00 we switch over to doing a bracket. So you are more than welcome to hang around for the bracket. Right now we're finishing up, we'll probably close it out tonight. We are finishing up a summer outside games bracket. It's a distance nerding, one of a kind.
Jackie made it herself.
It's an exclusive. I made it myself. So you are more than welcome to hang out.
It's got a heart. There's a heart on it.
Let me see.
There's the heart.
Well, that's cute.
It's about to get covered up by all kinds of shit. I mean, still, there's the heart.
What was I going to say? You are more than welcome to stay and hang out and put in your vote. But if you got to run and do dinner or something, we understand that as well.
And this is by no means kicking you off the show.
not
We
at all.
are 100% asking you to stay.
Yes.
Yeah. You can stay for a bit.
All right.
All right.
I got to figure out my life and figure out where we're at in this. Because I don't think
Damn it, Jackie, figure out your life.
I know. Okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. This was where I ended.
I'm such a jerk.
This is where I ended. All right. All right. So a recap of the recap of the recap. So James doesn't yell at me.
Right. We need a recap of the recap so that we
Okay.
can recap while we're recapping.
Yes. So like I said, this is a distance nerding exclusive. So we went through the bracket and now we're kind of wrap in the part where we're wrapping it up. So last week we left off with hide and seek versus water balloons. Water balloons won. Water balloon. So hide and seek versus water balloon fight, and water balloons fight won that one. Then we had squirt gun fights versus Nerf gun fights. Squirt gun fights won that one. Then this one's a travesty, actually. This is a Padme right here. We had slip and slide versus dodgeball, and dodgeball won that one.
Yes.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a
Dodgeball.
You can dodge a ball.
All about dodgeball.
And then we had this one's also a travesty. Then we had cardboard slides. You could either take them down cement or you could take them down grass versus Marco Polo, and Marco Polo won that one.
As it should.
Yes.
Marco Polo! Marco!
Okay. So then next up we have kickball versus leapfrog.
Leapfrog.
Kickball versus leapfrog.
Kickball versus leapfrog.
So in the chat, go ahead and guys go ahead and start your voting. So we have kickball versus leapfrog. So essentially, you just kind of want to imagine yourself out. You're a kid. You're out on the playground. Maybe not you, because you said you
Didn't really like
you
people.
didn't really like people.
It's
okay.
fine. Jack really didn't like people.
Me neither. But like, let's say like you're out there with people you like. And they're like, do you want to play kickball or leapfrog? Which one are you playing?
I would say, can I say out loud what I want?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say,
I'm going kickball. I'm just throwing that out there.
yeah, I was gonna say, like, you want to do kickball because you want to kick a ball into someone's face. So I would say kickball.
Yes. Yes. He understands me. So on so many levels.
Yes.
My mom and I used to play leapfrog on the fire hydrant.
Really?
When we would walk down the street, yeah, she'd hop the fire hydrant. Oh, Thomas Wong is in the house.
Yeah. What's up, Thomas Wong?
He said
Kickball, I
kickball.
always aim for the pitcher's head.
As you should.
I have to say that my vote is probably going to be for kickball. What about you, Squints?
Kickball. I was a soccer player, so
Oh man, fourth grade, I remember we used to play kickball all the time in elementary school, but speaking of soccer, and fourth grade, that's what we played every single recess and lunch was soccer. And I was never good at it.
I started playing soccer at 4. So
Oh wow. Yeah, I never really played any sports. I think it was too like involved for my dad to want to deal with. Or anybody to deal with. I really wanted to play softball, but I did Girl Scouts, and then my dad was like, well, if you play softball, then you're not gonna be able to do Girl Scouts, because that's when we used to go do like our stuff for Girl Scouts. And I think Girl Scouts was definitely a place where he could just drop me off and he didn't have to deal with me.
right.
Yeah, let me just leave her here.
Let me just leave her here, and I'll go grab a beer.
Well, he didn't. My dad didn't drink, but
No.
he did other things. But yeah,
We're
no,
not
it's
gonna go
funny.
there.
Yeah, no. That could mean anything.
It can.
But anyway, yeah. So that's why I didn't play softball, because he was like, well, don't you want to go to like Marine World and stuff with your Girl Scouts? And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess I do.
He convinced you to stay in
Yeah,
Girl Scouts.
he convinced me. But I'm just a people pleaser, so what can I
Like,
say?
don't you want to be a Girl Scout? Don't you want to sell cookies, Jack?
Yeah, we went to like one meeting, and I think he was like, oh hell no. I'm not doing this.
I got to do what now?
He used to because like with Girl Scouts, I mean, similar. I think in sports it's similar. Like, you have like the parents like switch out like snacks or whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe that's how it is now, but whenever it was, so Girl Scouts, we used to do the same thing, and whenever it was our turn to bring snack, my dad always brought KFC.
I got snacks. Okay. I'm bringing the cuff.
It was always a bucket of chicken. I don't know why I think that's funny, but it is. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out with kickball. It pretty much won in the
it's-
chat as well.
Like I'm bringing the
No.
cuff with me.
No, no one voted for leapfrog. All right.
As you should.
All right. Next up, we have red light, green light versus bike riding. Red light.
Ooh.
Again, if we're
Bike
playing
riding.
red light, green light, do you die at the end of it?
I was gonna say, so I'm agreeing what Lady D is saying. It would be red light, green light with Squid Game version.
That's what I was saying. Like, Squid Game rules, or is it like regular rules? Because
No,
like Squid
it's-
Game rules, everyone dies.
It's regular rules.
Regular.
Regular schmegular.
I guess it really depends where you're biking too.
Well, as a kid, you're just biking everywhere.
Wherever you maybe it's at a park, maybe
Yeah.
it's your neighborhood, just
Wherever you like,
would-
as long as you like it.
wherever you want, wherever you like, as long as you like it. That's what Brenda would say.
Okay, I would say biking then.
Okay. What about you, Squints?
Biking.
Yeah.
Gotta admit, I'm a biking guy. When I was a kid, I biked everywhere. So I mean, like, I will have to go with biking because, yeah, it's like between that and red light, green light. I played red light, green light at school, but it wasn't really like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go play some red light, green light.
Thomas Wong,
Never play chicken with a car while riding a bike.
terrifying. He wants to know, ever play chicken with a car while riding a bike?
Absolutely, do it all the time.
No.
No, but
Absolutely.
I've sketched on a car while riding a bike.
You what?
Absolutely not. That's why I'm still alive.
You grab the wheel of the car
Oh my gosh.
and
Oh,
it
dude.
pulls you.
Oh my goodness.
What movie was that from?
Back to the future.
Was it Back to the Future where they did that? They just like reached over and they're like, "Oh, hey, look at that!" And the girl was like, "Hey, let him go." He's like, "Yeah, let go. It's stupid." It was some movie. I forgot what it was called. It's gonna bother me now. I remember that would be insane. Like he got up, like the guy who was driving was getting upset because the kid on the bike was. Oh, it was Goonies. Goonies.
Oh
Hey, that's
yeah,
Please.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't do that.
I don't do that because
Well,
There you
once
Say that.
again, I was a bike messenger,
Yeah, oh, okay.
so I'm a trained professional.
Were you bike messenger in Denver or Colorado or
No, in
where at?
New York and
Oh, God.
LA.
You should buy a lottery ticket?
because
Oh, I should
'Cause
buy a
you're-
lot of things. Yeah,
saying because he's still alive.
yeah, pretty much.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and
Hear none, see none.
hear none, see no more. Close this out with bike riding. There was 2 and maybe 3 for red light, green light, but there was definitely 5. Okay, yeah.
Gotta admit, it gives me the giggles every time Jackie says "hear none, see none."
Because it's a bingo term.
It just I like when you say it.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know why.
It's a bit because it's bingo. I get that from bingo.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god, you guys ever want to see Philippe in his absolute in his all his glory? Take this man to bingo.
oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, he is like, okay, all right, where are we at? All right, that's the number. Okay, and he's like going through the thing, and my mom and I are just sitting there laughing at him.
Okay, how many cards do you have, Phil?
We just do well, no, I mean, well, I don't know. We do a sheet, so it's like, I don't know, maybe like 12 card. It's like 12 individual cards, so
Okay.
it's like a sheet. I think it's maybe 12 cards, maybe 15. But yeah, we go down in Napa with my mom every couple of months or whatever. And yeah, Philippe you've only been one time, right?
Once, yes.
Oh my god, it was the funniest thing. I don't know. Bingo's fun because it's one of those games that you could just sit and like socialize and and yeah, I don't know, it's funny and
I don't know that I've ever played bingo outside of like maybe in like elementary school.
yeah, I went with my dad one time to bingo and he just kept getting up and going outside and smoking a cigarette because he couldn't sit down for that long.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I went for my 18th birthday with my mom and her friends, and I don't know, it's just one of those things. Like my mom has like, you know, mobility issues and stuff. So it's a good little activity because I can't just like go and visit her because I just go because I'm always doing something. I'm always doing something. I can't just sit there and stare at another person. So, you know, I'll go up there. If I go up there during the day, you know, I'll go get lunch. We'll go hang out outside. We'll go look for blackberries. And then when we go to bingo, you know, we go to bingo, you know, get dinner and we'll go.
Oh, that's a bingo.
We'll go to bingo and it's just, you know, one of those things you can just sit and like catch up and talk and, you know, that kind of stuff. And then the people are interesting. And then it's just fun because like there's all these like different shapes that you have to like learn, and then you know you get close, and anyways,
Shapes did you have to learn?
Yeah, there's different shapes. So there's like it's not just like you get like, you know, a straight down. There's like different patterns that you have to get in order to
Okay.
So there's like crazy.
So it's way more involved than what I'm used to.
It's like bingo advanced.
So there's like crazy
Professional
kite,
bingo.
There's like crazy kite, crazy pyramids, 6-pack and a biscuit, double.
Yeah, I've been
bingo.
hitting the head too many times. I don't know if I get that.
No, they have it up on the board with the numbers, and then they like show you like the different patterns and stuff. No, bingo is not for old people. Okay, it's for hip people.
Who said bingo's for old people?
Darren said I thought bingo was for old.
And he said he doesn't see Mickey playing bingo either.
Oh my god, it is.
You know what? Mickey does nothing but play bingo.
Philippe in all his glory is at bingo. He gets all excited. He's all excited, and he's all into like the strategy.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Okay. Next up, we have we're getting to the tail end of this. Okay. Next up, we have football versus bug and reptile catching.
Whoa.
Football versus bug and reptile catching.
I would say bug and reptile. Only thing is I've never really played football.
Squints, I know you're
literally
voting football.
bug. It's literally bug and reptile catching. Like you're going outside and catching bugs and reptiles.
Yeah.
For the Pokemon, it's bugs and reptiles.
Oh man, I could have put Pokemon on there. I didn't. No, that could be an indoor game. I haven't. And then I also made. There's another Distance Nerdian exclusive. I made a rainy day game one too, but we're gonna wait for the winter months to do. No, not tackle football, 2-hand touch.
That's no like PE football.
We just said we did 2-hand touch and just touched a little more forcefully.
Oh, okay. All right.
He had bad touch.
Wow.
Oh, look at the puppy dog. Is that a husky?
It is. That's one of the dog pools.
That is the dog pool.
No, she's sitting over there by the sun, but that's one of the dog pools. They all have different personalities.
Philippe, what is your vote for?
Football.
Okay.
Because I played football.
All right. And then Deadpool Fresno, what is your vote for?
Bugs and lizards.
Oh, that's right. You said that. I have you down. I don't know why I didn't see that. Oh, I don't have myself. That's why.
Matt's just like, I catch all the bugs.
Okay, we're tied up.
Here it says bug and reptile. Yeah, sounds like Pokemon.
Oh, this is gonna be a Padme.
No, is football getting voted out?
So far, I have 4 for bug and reptile.
The fuck?
Victory is mine.
Fresno Deadpool, you are welcome here anytime.
Yeah.
Aaron said bug and reptile because it sounds like catching Pokemon.
We're not doing another show, but it says you're scheduled. Nah, we're not doing another one. No one tell them.
All right. So we have football versus bug and reptile catching. Right now, bug and reptile has 4 and football has 3.
Like this is okay because
going once.
Nothing will ever be as bad as
going twice.
Fucking Padme beating Darth.
None. Bug and reptile catching. Oh my god, what if this was the whole
Ooh.
bracket? That would be
You would be so happy.
insane in the membrane.
Turn in the brain.
All right, so let's go ahead and close this this whole bracket out. I think we'll be able to do it by the end. All right, so we're going back around. We have these are very similar. Luckily, I guess is water.
I was
What?
gonna say I don't think I'm gonna open another bag, but this
Okay.
is what I've got so far.
Oh, let's make you big. Hold on. Where am I at? Where am I at? I got it. No, let me do it. I want to do it. No.
You got
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Wow, that's cool.
Sweet.
freaking massive, man. Like but like
Yeah.
it's looking more and more like the Batwing.
And you said it has a
It's got a wall
piece to
stand.
hang it on the wall.
Yeah, so actually, I think that's what this is
Nice.
right here. I think you just put a nail on
Oh
the
my
wall
god.
and you can mount
I know where we could put that.
Okay.
On the side of the couch.
Nice
On the wall.
But yeah, dude, this
Wow.
thing is fucking massive. This thing is so big,
Yeah, that's huge.
and I mean, this is what it's going to be in the end.
Oh, nice.
Very nice.
Wow.
Very nice. I like
All right.
Good
like a mesh.
Okay, so let's go ahead and finish up this bracket. Next up, we have water balloon fights versus squirt gun fights. They're
Ooh.
similar. So do you want to throw some water balloons or do you want a squirt gun?
I would go with the squirt gun.
Squirt guns.
Yeah, I would say squirt guns.
Oh man, I would do water balloon.
Yeah, because water balloons you'll run out of eventually. Like you can keep some of your ammunition in a squirt gun for a while.
Yeah, I
Or
like.
you can actually just freeze a water balloon.
Oh no, you can't do that. That's not nice.
Ugh.
Or you could be like my mom and fill up a condom.
And
Yeah.
just throw water condoms at people. Oh god, that's killing squints.
All right. Let's see. I used to carry 4 at a time. I don't know if you mean water balloons or squirt guns
Or condoms.
or condoms. All right. Let's see. All right. Going once. Anybody want to get their last vote in? Going once. Going twice. Sold for squirt guns.
Woo!
Let's see.
Thomas said all of the above.
All right. Next up, we have dodgeball versus Marco Polo. Dodgeball versus Marco Polo.
Marco!
Polo?
Okay.
Philippe, what's your vote?
Oh, dodgeball for sure.
Okay.
If you're gonna dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Okay. Deadpool
Dip,
Fresno.
duck, dive, dodge. Oh no, dodge, dip, duck, dive, and dodge.
Deadpool Fresno.
I would say dodgeball.
Yeah, because you
Yeah.
can inflict damage on people in dodgeball.
Squints, what's your vote?
Dodgeball.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to sign a waiver, of course, but yes, dodgeball.
Dude, no. In middle school, there was no waiver. It was I've got a ball. I'm throwing it at this fucker that keeps messing with me.
Yep.
This guy's cheating on the homework, so I'm gonna throw a ball at him.
Oh, your mom said dodgeball. Look at
Yeah. I'd love to see her play dodgeball now.
that.
All right. Going once, going twice, sold for dodgeball. Okay, we're gonna finish this out.
Yeah.
All right. Next up. Oh, shit. Did I mess
What have I
that
done to Minnie? I've done nothing to Minnie, huh?
up? Okay, wait. I screwed up. Wait, what did I do?
Where's mom?
What's going
I
on?
watched that. I watched that alone with my day show, my daughter periodically. It gets annoying after a while, especially now because she like works right and she shares like in the funds for like rent, and so I'll be like in the goofy voice. Where's my money?
Where's my money, bitch?
Sorry.
Oh, wow.
I have an extra.
You have an extra?
Extra.
An
Yeah.
extra for
So the way that I have this is next up is kickball and bike rating, but that leaves bug and reptile by itself.
Oh, kickball we already did. Oh no, dodgeball we did.
Yeah, but I do. Hold on. This happens sometimes.
Yeah. Well, while
Okay,
we're doing
yeah.
this, let's do Disney characters in compromising situations. So, where's my money, bitch? I told you that I need my money. Buy the thing. If I don't have my money, I'm gonna fuck you up. You got me?
I'm gonna yuck you up. Where's my money?
Oh, okay.
Take out his legs, Goofy.
Okay, I think I know where I messed up.
Gosh.
I think I did. Okay. Did I talk about slip and slide in this last one?
Which
No.
one?
Did we skip?
No.
I skipped slip and slide.
Ah,
Oh.
Well, how come I voted for it? Wait, 1, 2, 1, 2. It was dodgeball and slip and slide.
Yeah, we all chose. Aside, you would think you were the only one that did slip and slide. Everyone chose dodgeball.
Yeah.
Okay, well, then everything's just gonna go up against. These are just gonna go up against. I don't want to waste any time. Okay.
she's like, it all goes up against Bugs.
It all
because,
goes up against Bugs.
because she wants Bugs to win. So she's just like, yeah, no, Bugs are going into the finals, automatic finals.
Yep.
It's fine.
Finals for 4 rounds.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Let's see. We did dodgeball versus Marco, dodgeball 1. Now we have kickball versus bike riding. Kickball versus bike riding.
Kickball, bike riding. Baseball with your feet or riding around on a bike.
I would say bike riding on my part.
Yep.
Okay.
Same.
All right. What about you, Philippe?
I don't know. This one I'm actually kind of pulled on.
How lazy do you want to be?
No, but I mean, like I used to. I guess I have memories of bike riding to go play kickball.
I was gonna say you have memories and getting a ball kicked in your face.
Because it's basically baseball, but with
Yeah.
a red ball, you know, or if you played with the soccer ball and you're hitting people in the face, it's 10 times funnier.
You can
It
play
hurts a little bit more.
with the big yellow one too.
Yeah, Thomas Wong, kickball. Really want to kick the ball into someone's face.
Yep.
That's everybody's saying kickball because they like kicking balls into people's faces.
Yes.
It is a tea bag
Like
before
people riding bikes.
Before kids knew what it actually was.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the original balls to face.
Philippe, what are you picking? Because you could tie this up. That's why.
I think we'll go kickball.
Oh man, you tied it up.
Shit.
All right, we
Man, good job. Get out. You're fired.
somebody in the chat vote for either kickball or bike riding. Come on. Wait, did Darren go? No, he did dodgeball. Come on, Darren. Kickball all the way.
If you do kickball, I will return
Kickball.
for the next
Alright.
show.
Kick your opponent's balls. That's right.
All right,
Ow.
keep on that one.
Nancy said dirty nerdy. Yes. Nancy, you missed. I don't know if you were in the chat, but you missed me doing a very inappropriate Mickey Mouse.
Okay. So now we have squirt gun versus dodgeball.
Squirt gun.
That was okay. Squints, what about you?
Square gun.
Oh, Chris. Actually, Kristen Reinhold just said bike riding. It's on YouTube. YouTube tends to be a little delayed sometimes.
Okay, well then that would tie it back up.
Right back up.
No, I already called it kickball. Sorry. We're just trying to close it out, man. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So we're doing dodgeball versus squirt guns.
Dodgeball versus squirt guns. I'll give it a little extra time for the people on YouTube.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, dodgeballs versus squirt guns.
Did you vote already?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Squints and Deadpool, you did, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I did squirt guns. Like
Matt-
squirt guns can actually hit you in the face a lot harder than a dodgeball can. If you have like the cannon, I don't know if you guys remember the cannon. where this thing would take gallons and gallons of water, and
Oh,
you
if
would
you had-
have to like charge it up forever, and
Yeah,
it would
if you
hit
had
you like a
Squints'
damn ball.
So Squints, he's told the story multiple times, but he had basically Ghostbusters proton pack equivalent of a super soaker.
Yeah,
So
he said his dad did a modded one.
with a backpack.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. I
Yeah,
like
So
that.
it
Did
was
you put ice
awesome.
in the pack? 'Cause that'd be even cooler. Just saying. Everything to me is frozen.
It was basically like one of those camelbacks,
Yeah.
Ooh.
and you had a hose that went from the camelback into the super soaker.
Oh, that's neat. I like that. Need to bring that back.
Well, it's supposed to be 111 degrees this weekend.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
I know.
Good thing.
Lord.
That's high.
Lord.
That's pretty high.
Back
111 is
I mean, it's supposed to be 96 here on Saturday, so
It's ridiculous.
Oh,
I
we'll pray for you, Squints.
I know. I am going to go with. I think I'm gonna go with squirt guns.
I'm the only one that'll do dodgeball. Squirt
They're gonna
gun.
dodge a wrench. Dodge a ball.
All right, I got yours, Kristen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and from COVID. Oh, Darren had COVID. Guess so. He said I think Minnie got. Oh no, he said I think Minnie got brain fog from COVID. I had COVID back in May. I don't care what I get now that this wedding's over.
I know, right? Now that we're married.
I was so afraid I was gonna get monkeypox, but okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and close this one with squirt guns winning. Next up we have kickball versus bug and reptile collecting.
Jack, and then just throwing this out there. Did you notice I got my new ring today?
I saw them on the counter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw the boxes on the counter.
Mhm.
Who got those mugs?
That was the gift from Allie, from my niece.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. So we have kickball versus bug and reptile catching. Philippe, what's your vote?
Kickball all the way.
Kickball. Deadpool.
Kickball.
Kickball. Squints.
Kickball.
Oh, Jackie.
What? My vote's for kickball.
Really? Not bug and reptile? You called that was going to win the whole thing.
I was just.
I just want to get this over with, man.
All right. Another one for kickball. All right. Hearing none, seeing none. I'm gonna go ahead and close this out with kickball. So now we're down to the final two, which is squirt gun fights versus kickball for the ultimate summer game. Outside summer game. Squirt gun fights versus kickball.
Squirt guns.
Okay.
Yeah, squirt guns.
What about you,
Yep.
Squints?
Same.
Okay, okay. Darren in with the bug and reptile catching. All right. Going once. Going twice. Kristen voted on YouTube, so I'm thinking that's a good enough time. So we're gonna go ahead and call it.
Yeah.
Philippe,
Which one?
I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know. You pick one. I'm gonna go ahead and call it with squirt gun is the ultimate summer outside game.
We have that one non-believer in squirt guns.
So we have determined that squirt guns are
Superior.
the superior summer game. So we're gonna have to go out and get some squirt guns.
Yeah, definitely before before this weekend.
Yeah.
110 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm putting ice in a camelback and shooting all the kids this weekend.
I'll send you the plans, Phil.
Oh yes, we are doing this. We are doing this.
So thank you everybody who was here for the very first Distance Nerding exclusive bracket. We will start looking into the bracket, and that way we have that and we can get started on that.
Hello
And then
there.
I will let Philippe take it over from here.
All right. Well, guys, that is it for us tonight. So before we get going here, I need everybody to give me your pluggables. If you guys are unfamiliar with what a pluggable is, go ahead and plug whatever shows you got coming up, plug your social medias, any kind of plug that you want to put in. Let's go ahead and throw that out there. Starting with my good friend Matt. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, so plug in. So the next one that's actually coming up would actually be Heroes Fest, which is brought to you by Project Wish Upon a Star. That's going to be at Heroes Comics in Fresno. And then in September as well, you have California Republic, which I believe is on the 25th of September. So check that out. So that's September. And then October, the end of the month, 29th, I believe it's going to be a Halloween event. Not sure if they actually have a name yet, but Hollowfest. So Hollowfest is a one-day event on the 29th. You also have the pop culture event that's actually going to be at the Fresno Fairgrounds, run by Blue Gaming and Pete Salazar, who does the Weekend Blender. So that'll be kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for right now. Well, and then, of course, then there's SAC Anime this weekend. There's LA Comic Con first weekend of December. So check it out. See you guys there.
Hell yeah. Darren Chibi in the chat. If you want to throw a plug out there, man, just go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll put it on the screen. But for now, Senor Squints, give us your pluggables, sir.
You can catch me on Instagram, either Sling Sawdust, which is my personal account, and then I also run a podcast called Cuts and Chaos that we're getting ready to launch, and that's it for now.
All right, Layaki, it's your turn.
Y'all can find me at Distance Nerding because I'm still underground.
The underground wonder. And ladies and gentlemen, you know all about our social media, all the social medias that you can catch us at. They all exist wherever social media is there. We are there on Twitch, on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Facebook, on OnlyFans, on GeoCities, on MySpace, on all of the places if they exist. Farmers Only, Christian Mingle. What's another one?
You're looking at me
because I'm going off the top of my head. What was the one? Hinge. I think I saw that on a commercial. What? Plenty of Fish. Find it all at Distance Nerding.
That's where we met.
That's where we met. Was on Plenty of Fish. World be known that I met my wife on Plenty of Fish. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, find us where social media exists, and we are there. Of course, catch us at our next couple of shows here. Actually, let me pull up our schedule so I can show you guys all, or tell everybody where we're going to be, where you can catch us all. Coming up here in September. We've got the SAC Dev Showcase on September 10th. We are going to be at Project Wish Upon a Star's Hero Fest in Fresno on September 17th. And then, of course, California Republic Comic Con in Placerville, California on September 25th. So we've got a pretty jam-packed September. And then after that, we've got a couple shows in October too. So guys, catch us all in those places. We will have all the fun with you. I will be there as Unipool. You're going to see Deadpool Fresno, Lady Deadpool Fresno. I'm sure you guys are going to be at at least two of those shows, right?
Correct. We'll be there.
Hell yeah. So with that all being said, Matt, I didn't warn you, but we do something here called the dance party. Basically what you're going to do is just grab something or a toy or someone around you, and it's just going to make it dance, right? You will see here how it works. So let me go ahead and turn that down right there, and let's get this going. Oh, Jackie's already on it. Thanos.
distance nerding.
Love that he's making his phone dance. I'm just trying to see what you people are doing out there. How's everyone doing? Are you having a great time?
It's Deadpool. I know him.
Where'd my mouse go? I destroyed the illusion! I broke it!